If you grew up with a narcissist mother, I need you to understand something that might be hard to hear. Your family was not a family. It was a system, a carefully constructed hierarchy designed to serve one person, her. And if you are watching this video right now, chances are you were not at the top of that hierarchy. You were somewhere in the middle or the bottom, trying to figure out why nothing you did was ever good enough. Hi, my name is Michele Paradise, and welcome to my channel where I bring together my knowledge and information on relationships as well as my own lived experience. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please hit the subscribe button. And if you are a subscriber, please hit the little bell for notifications when I have new videos like this one today. And thank you for following me. So today I'm breaking down the 5 things that happen when a narcissist mother controls the family. And if you recognize these patterns, I want you to know this. This is not a normal family dynamic. This is coercive control. So let's take a breath and get into it. The first thing that happens in a family controlled by a narcissist mother is that children are not raised as individuals. You are assigned a role, and that role determines everything about how you are treated, how you are spoken to, and what you are allowed to become. There is the golden child. This is the child who can do no wrong. The one she parades around as proof of her excellent parenting. The golden child gets the praise, the resources, the attention. But here is what people do not understand. The golden child is not free and hardly ever will be free. They are an extension of her ego. Their job is to make her look good. Then there is the scapegoat. This is the child who gets blamed for everything, the one who is constantly criticized, punished, or shamed. The scapegoat carries all the dysfunction of the family. When something goes wrong, it is always their fault. When the narcissist mother is in a bad mood, the scapegoat bears the brunt of it. And then there is the invisible child, the one who gets forgotten, the one who learns early on that the safest strategy is to stay small, stay quiet, and not ask for anything. This child is often parentified, forced to grow up too fast and take care of siblings or even the mother herself. And here's the key thing to understand. These roles are not based on who you actually are. They are based on what she needs, her supply, at any given time. And these roles can change. So people ask me this all the time. Can I start out as a scapegoat child and end up as a golden child? You can, actually, because sometimes they get annoyed with the other one, or the other one leaves and moves on with their life, and they still need the supply. So the roles can switch around throughout your life. But you were assigned a function in the beginning in her world. You were not allowed to develop your own identity because your identity was a threat to her control. If you were the golden child, you learned that love is conditional. You learned that your worth depends on performance and compliance. If you were the scapegoat, you learned that you are fundamentally flawed. You internalize the belief that you are the problem. If you were the invisible child, you learned that your needs do not matter. You learn to disappear. And all of this happens so early in your development that you do not even realize it is not normal. You just think this is what family is. And I'm going to tell you about my own personal experience. My brother was the golden child. There's only 2 of us. And I was not the scapegoat child. When I was born, I was the invisible child. And what happened as I grew up and I began to recognize what was going on in the family, that my brother was sucking all the energy out of the family, that there wasn't really enough for me. That's why I became silent and invisible. But when I began to realize this, I developed courage and a backbone, and I started speaking truth. And this didn't go down very well. So then I did become the scapegoat child, and then I left. My brother didn't. He stayed behind. I wouldn't have chosen his life for anything. I would have always chosen mine because I learned how to develop independence and courage and speak, truth to power, and to speak my own truth. And that is the good news about being a scapegoat child. The second thing that happens is that the father is neutralized. And this is critical to understand because a narcissist mother cannot maintain control if there is another authority figure in the home who might challenge her or protect the children. So what does she do? She neutralizes him. There are a few ways this plays out. Option one, he is completely controlled by her. She has eroded his sense of self to the point where he will not stand up to her. This was my father-in-law. My mother-in-law was the raging narcissist in the family, and he was neutralized by her. And he goes along with whatever she says. He enforces her punishments. He becomes an extension of her control. Option two, he checks out. He is physically present but emotionally absent. He buries himself in work, hobbies, alcohol, or silence. He sees what is happening, but he does not intervene because intervening would mean conflict with her. And he has learned that conflict with her, it's not worth it. And that's how conflict avoidance begins, because you've tried and tried and tried and it hasn't worked and you just stop. Option three, he becomes another child she manages. This again was my father-in-law. She infantilizes him. She makes decisions for him. She criticizes him the same way she criticizes the children. In this dynamic, he has no authority. He is just another person in the house walking on eggshells around her. No matter which version you grew up with, the result is the same. He cannot protect you. That is also known as the enabler, because he's just given up and it enables her to get away with it. And that is really difficult for the child because they have no protection from either parent. And this is one of the most painful realizations for adult children of narcissist mothers. You realize that the person who was supposed to stand between you and harm either participated in the harm or stood by and watched it happen. Some of you are carrying anger toward your father for this, and that anger is valid. His silence was complicity. For me, my father was the narcissist and my mother was the enabler. And she was the one who walked on eggshells. And she gave us everything she could, but not emotional support, because it was too dangerous. His passivity enabled the abuse. As I said, they are the enablers. But I also want you to understand this. In many cases, he was the victim of her abuse too. And this is hard when we realize this wasn't my situation, but if you have a narcissistic mother, you will begin to realize as you get older what your father went through as well. And that can be very hard because he may be gone, deceased, divorced, whatever, and you may never be able to have that conversation with him. That does not excuse his failure to protect you, but it does explain it. Narcissists do not just control children, they control everyone in the system. The third thing that happens is that siblings are pitted against each other. And this is one of the cruelest aspects of growing up in this kind of family. My brother and I were never friends. We've struggled all our lives, so I can vouch for this one. In a healthy family, siblings are allies. They support each other, they form bonds that last a lifetime. But in a family controlled by a narcissist mother, siblings are competition. You were taught to see each other as threats, not allies. Why? Because a narcissist mother uses a strategy called triangulation. She creates conflict between her children so that they are too busy fighting each other to ever unite against her. And this is what my narcissistic mother-in-law did to my ex-husband and his brother. And they were like, as we say, chalk and cheese. They couldn't be more different. And she was always telling the other one how great the other one was. And it didn't go well. She tells the golden child that the scapegoat is jealous of them. She tells the scapegoat that the golden child is the favorite and always has been. She tells the invisible child that they are lucky. They do not get the drama the other two deal with. She compares you constantly. She praises one of you in front of the others to create resentment. She shares secrets that one sibling told her in confidence to another sibling to break trust. And the result, you grow up unable to trust each other. You grow up believing that love and attention are scarce resources that you have to compete for. You grow up with sibling relationships that are shallow, distant, or outright hostile. Even as adults, many of you struggle to have authentic relationships with your siblings because the foundation of your relationship was not love. It was competition for survival. And here's the other thing. Even if you were the golden child and you got the praise and the favoritism, you still lost because you were taught to see your siblings as beneath you. You were taught that your worth came from being better than them. That is not connection. That is hierarchy. So if you are estranged from your siblings or if your sibling relationships feel shallow and transactional, this is why. It is not your fault. You were set up to fail at having healthy sibling bonds from day one. The fourth thing that happens is that reality becomes whatever she says it is. And this is gaslighting at its best on a family-wide scale. In a family controlled by a narcissist mother, her version of events is the only version that matters. Your perceptions are crazy. Your feelings are invalid. She rewrites history constantly. Something that happened last week gets reframed. Something she said gets denied. An event that traumatized you gets minimized or erased entirely. And everyone in the family goes along with it because challenging her version of reality means conflict. It means being labeled as dramatic or oversensitive or the problem. So you learn to doubt yourself. You learn to question your own memory. You learn that what you experienced does not count unless she validates it. This is one of the most insidious forms of abuse because it does not just hurt you in the moment, it damages your ability to trust yourself for the rest of your life. As an adult, you might struggle with decision making. You might second guess your own perceptions. You might find yourself constantly seeking external validation because you were taught that your internal sense of reality is not reliable. And here is the thing. She's still doing this. Even now, if you are still in contact with her, she is still rewriting history. She is still denying things that happen. She is still making you feel like you are the crazy one for remembering things differently than she does. This is not you being too sensitive. This is not you having a bad memory. This is her actively distorting reality to protect her image and maintain control. And the fifth thing that happens is that the entire family system organizes around protecting her image. Everyone learns to keep secrets. Everyone learns to make excuses. Everyone learns to maintain the facade. To the outside world, your family looks perfect. She is involved, dedicated, loving, but behind closed doors, it is a different story. And you were taught from a very young age that you are never allowed to talk about what really happens at home. If you told a teacher, a friend, or another family member the truth, you were punished. You were told you were exaggerating. You were told you were being disloyal. So you learned to lie. You learned to cover for her. You learned to pretend everything was fine even when it wasn't. And this is why so many adult children of narcissist mothers feel so alone, because everyone around you saw the performance. No one saw the reality. And when you try to talk about it now, people do not believe you. They say things like, but your mom is so nice, or she always seems so caring. That is because she is very good at the performance. That is the whole point. But you know the truth. You lived it. And the fact that no one else saw it does not make it any less real. If this was your childhood, I want you to hear this. You deserved better. You deserved a mother who saw you as a person, not a prop. You deserve safety, not performance. You deserved a family where love was not conditional on compliance. This is not normal family dynamics. This is coercive control at its best. And the damage it causes runs deep because you were trained from birth to believe it was love. You are not responsible for fixing her. You are not responsible for maintaining the family system. You are allowed to walk away. If this video resonated with you, please like and subscribe and drop a comment below and let me know which of these 5 things hit home the hardest. And if you know someone who grew up the same way, please share this video with them. Sometimes just knowing you are not alone changes everything. So all that it remains for me to say is thank you very much for watching and please stay safe. See you next time.